and events you want to be known, then amp them up on Amp It Up, our new online radio station. We want your voice to be heard, so spread the word on Amp It Up. Contact us at 866-224-5422 for more information. Let's amp it up.
It's lunchtime, and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from Studio A in the heart of Delray Gallery, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, a movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free at 888-565-1470 right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
And events you want.
And welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe. We're doing a special here on your Facebook page.
I am so honored. Thank you.
and it's there
Wonderful.
for the whole world to see.
Yay.
All right. So,
This segment is brought to you by
what's it brought to you by?
Cruise Planner, 561-232-2626. And one of my favorites, Don Pablo Meat Rub. Spice up your meat. DonPabloCoffee.com.
You know, that's an actual thing, Don Pablo Meat Rub. It's, you tenderize meat and yada, yada, yada. And the commercial, if you ever see the commercial on the air, everybody giggles because it ends with rub it on your meat.
Nothing
And
wrong with
that's
that.
what it said. Nothing wrong with that, right?
There's nothing wrong with that.
She said it, I just agreed. Anyway, so we are here at Camen Liz, and she has some guests that we're going to get to. This is a special that we're putting together just so that you know. If you missed the other show, it's on the Facebook page. This one is being played on both.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for that.
Not a problem. So, Carmen, who did...
Yes,
Carmen,
don't worry.
Leslie,
Just-
who did you bring?
Just say
I
Carmen.
always call her Carmen.
I'm going to rename myself as Carmen.
Yes.
That's it.
Get a shirt that says, I'm not Carmen. I'm the other woman. Lord have mercy, it's been a long day.
That's funny, right? So this is Jeanette, and we're gonna let her talk a little bit today about what she does here, and we've introduced her here because it's so important to see when we do laser therapy for our patients, and they come in and they do have some other underlying issues, let's say viruses, parasites, things like that. One can actually see that in a very, very easy little test that Jeanette does, and so we'll let her talk about that. And then I have Gus Barney here, is also a very good friend of mine for years, and he has amazing products that he does, and he's also helped me in my business to make specific business decisions, and he's like a mentor to me, my guide, also with products, what I should have in the clinic and what works best, and he's taught me a lot about muscle testing.
And all of this that they're going to be talking about is available here at the store.
Absolutely. Everything you can get here. Yes.
Excellent.
One-stop shop.
One-stop shop. Yeah,
I
more
love
and
that.
more.
All right, so she went to start over here because we had this poor woman sitting by the side as you saw that ambush today.
Yes, you got it.
Oh, man, I got a headache is what I got.
Yes, I just didn't want to say a word. I was
Yes,
like,
you did. I saw you. She was like,
I
She was learning to be the
"Ah."
great observer, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That
Yeah,
was-
I like that.
that was
touch you said.
hilarious. Yeah. Okay, so tell us a little bit about what you do.
I do live cell conditions. I actually have a professional microscope. I ask my clients to prick their finger and give me a little drop of blood. I put it into the microscope, and my clients get to see what I see in the microscope. My microscope has a camera on it tied to a monitor, so everybody gets to see what I'm seeing as well. So we discuss it. It's really an educational tool for people to learn what's going on inside of them, what things are running around or things that might be causing them discomfort or problems.
Really?
Yeah, it's an educational tool to look at underlying conditions that could be disruptive. When the blood moves around the body, it picks up codes as to what's happening. So I'm not having to guess; the cells are showing it. showing either liver toxicity, kidney toxicity.
But how do you know all these
colon.
toxicities?
Well, I know it's real easy to identify them, and I
I'm
have
sure it is.
Yeah, I have charts, and usually what I do is when somebody comes in and says, they're just feeling off and they want some treatments with Leslie. Leslie asks them to actually just come in and have a look at what's going on, some underlying conditions that would help her diagnose.
I don't diagnose.
No, well, the treatment.
Yes, I just
Choose
understand
the
that.
Analyze.
treatment. You're right.
Analyze.
Yeah, none of us diagnose, but be able to tell what treatments would be best. So the live blood, I don't even ask anybody to tell me what's wrong with them, what they're feeling. Let's just see what
Are
the
you
cells.
serious?
Yeah.
You see it, it's amazing.
Does the medical profession know about you?
They know
do
that
now.
this exists.
They know this exists.
Oh, yeah, this has been around for over 30 years. This is nothing I've created or that's been, it's very preventative. The microscope, looking at the cells, is a way, it's the most preventative tool because it's the person who's sitting with me, it's their blood, it's their drop that we're looking at. It's not, and it's within seconds. So
So
you're
you're
seeing it in
looking-
a live condition.
You're looking, it's live cell analysis, right?
Right.
Okay, and what do you use, a dark field microscope?
A phase contrast, yes,
Phase
same thing.
contrast, okay. So yeah, that's in the moment.
Right.
Where the blood is still.
You get to see
active.
circulation is the very first thing because we want to see that very strong circulation. And then, of course, if it's not, then.
But it's on a dish, isn't it?
Oh, no, it's on a slide under a
And it's
microscope.
moving?
Oh, my gosh.
But this is so
parasites.
creepy.
Parasites.
There's a whole world in there.
There's
Yeah.
there's a yours?
There's yours. I'm going to
Yeah.
show you my blood. And
Okay.
And
Hold on a second, because I swear to God, my toasties are getting toasty here. Have you ever heard of this before?
Yeah, I've heard of this before. Yeah,
You
I've had this-
have?
yeah, I've had this done. Yeah.
You've heard of this too?
Yes, and with medical terms, we really need to be observant.
Okay.
Because we are not treating.
No. We're
Treating is
educating.
medical terms, left to the American Medical Association. We have certain things, guidelines that we can say and things that we can't say. We don't want to step on any toes, but we are observing, and with those observations, then we can decide what it is the next, what
step.
action, next step we're going to take. And that's where Leslie, is very good. You're taking some information, and then she's using some of that information to start detoxing people, because it really comes down, we're really in a day and time that is so problematic with people's hormone systems. The endocrine systems are shot in individuals. They're tired. The mitochondria is not active. We have less and less energy as we get older, and we need to we need to be able to pull ourselves back and get stronger, not
Okay,
weaker.
so I thought I had a headache before. Okay, so let me ask you a question. I got to ask because I've never heard of this before.
Yeah, no,
I've heard
no.
of being sick, but I never heard of this. So inflammation in the body. Can you tell us the source of the inflammation by looking at the blood on the slide?
No, usually what I can see is the platelets are inflamed.
Okay.
That's very easy to identify. And then I usually just go through a questionnaire a little bit of what the person is, because the cells are reactive to the person's environment. What are they eating? What are they drinking, smelling, or...
What's their stress level?
Yeah. And,
Wow.
So I start asking them about what they're eating. What could they be eating that's causing the adrenal or the platelets to
Be inflamed?
Then that's the first thing that I go to is food.
And so that it's more like you look at acidic versus alkaline diet. If they're eating a
Well,
lot
the
more
s-
acidic.
The cells themselves show whether they're acidic or alkaline, just
Okay.
by whether they're full of oxygen or, and most people are usually empty. So I talk about that as well, the alkaline diet.
Empty.
Well, it's
Oxygen
hollow.
in the cell?
It's oxygen lacking. You can see it in the cells.
How do you
The
get
cells
the
look
How do you
hollow.
get the oxygen back in there?
Breathe.
Breathe.
No, breathe. I'm honestly will tell you this, 15
God, I feel
minutes
so
in the
sick.
morning.
Yeah.
I feel
That's
like I
part
want to
of
go
my
to the
meditation.
hospital right
I take
now.
breathing.
Deep breaths.
This is an
Okay,
amazing.
because
It's also food. Just
Food
eating
and-
food that is living, that has
That is living.
yeah.
Like eat a cow.
like
Eat a real
plants,
cow?
plants.
A live cow.
2/3 of a person's diet should be plant-based,
Oh boy.
a living diet. Now,
Vegan.
it's no, 2/3. You know, the 1/3 is what everybody wants. It's the carbohydrates or the
I gotta stay off
protein.
of carbs. Yes. So
There's
if I eat broccoli all the time for the rest of my life, I'll be healthier. I mean, it's boring, but I would be healthier. No.
I'd still say you need a
There's,
balance of other vegetables, probably.
Yeah.
You're not going to get everything from broccoli.
Is broccoli the only thing you
absolutely
like?
That's it. It's the only green thing I like. That and mold.
Okay.
Say something just really quickly? One of the important things we were talking about in the segment before was the Juul, the vaping.
Right.
And I had done so much research on it, and my daughter was vaping, unfortunately. And so I said, you know what, I have to call Jeanette. Let's get my daughter's blood test. I want to see what this looks like, or just the cell analysis, I have to say. So we looked at it, and she had tons and tons of free radicals. Like 1/3 of all her blood cells were free radicals, which means there's an issue here. And that opened up her eyes to see, wait, I said, Lee, you work out every single day. She gets up at 4 or 5 in the morning, does an hour workout, runs with the dog, works out. I said, you're working out like a maniac, yet you're vaping and you're destroying your body. And she, thanks to the blood test that she saw, she decided to stop it.
Stop the vaping.
Stop the vaping.
Because of what you saw.
Because of what we saw.
No, you know what? It's what she saw.
Yeah, what you showed her.
What she saw in her blood.
No,
That's-
don't be modest.
No,
It's
no,
what
no.
you showed her.
This is one of the things I love about live blood is the person sees what they're doing in their blood. And it's very motivating when a person identifies with the screen. It's their blood under the microscope. They can't run from it. And if they care, it allows them to make changes. You can't ignore if yesterday I did testing and I saw a woman came in, she had 5 different types of parasites. 2 of them were three different types of worms crawling around in her blood.
Worms in the
Oh, yeah,
blood.
Yeah.
Is that
No, it's okay. You can hold that over there. I am freaking out here.
is that commonly picked up from meat?
Worms.
It's all kinds of stuff. You can't. It's really
Okay.
because you have a lack of hydrogen. I can't even think of the name.
It's okay. Trust me. You're way ahead of
It's
the curve
stomach
here.
acids. in the-
Hydrogen chloride, HCl.
Yes, HCl. But it's anyway, because our bodies are meant. The stomach is meant to combat those things, but we have less and less, and especially with today's diet, we don't really, or we're not getting produced with enough enzymes and enough hydrochloric acid. So.
But let me ask you a
To kill 'em
question.
when
Let me
they're
ask you a
coming
question.
in.
People go to have blood panels done.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Everybody here ever have a blood panel? Who has not? Everybody's gone to take their blood out, right?
Yeah.
And they have a panel.
Yeah.
And they don't tell you all this. They don't
No.
even look in that direction.
Well, no. What we do is 180 degree difference than what you go to.
360. Goes all the way around.
Oh, it's
60 all the way around.
That's right. But
180,
I'm gonna tell you, they got to
completely
start all over again. This is like I've never heard of anything like this.
yeah.
And this is another text you didn't send me.
That's just so great.
I am floored
We have all
here.
these amazing things that
What the hell's the matter with you? You gotta let this out.
I know,
Yeah.
and you're helping me.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that next Monday, I want you to bring 1, 2, and the other lady and you. I want you to do a show from 6 to 7 next Monday
Okay.
on Tell Us Your Biz on Monday night. And I want to expose this. I want to find out on another platform at the radio station. I want to find out what people think about this. I mean, I'm floored here. Now, you are a professional in the field.
I wouldn't say I'm a professional in the field, but I'm open to holistic healing, and I've tried a lot of different alternative
Have you ever
methods.
met anybody like this?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
she lived in L.A. I mean, it's kind of like L.A.
Oh, you live in LA? It's an LA thing?
It's
This
a-
is an
it's an
LA
LA
thing.
thing. I mean,
It only happens in LA.
Yeah.
No,
look,
alternative
it's
kind
LA.
of started there.
The whole world
Right.
spins around LA. Is that what you're telling me?
No, I'm just saying they
I've been a
they tried different
diabetic
things.
all my life. I've been a diabetic all my life. I've never heard of this.
Are you type
Right.
1 diabetes?
I'm the one without the insulin. Well, I don't know what type 2.
Two.
Type 2.
What am I?
And see, I can see that coming.
Yeah,
and
of
see,
course.
that's what I love about it. It's because it's so preventative. What the difference from the doctors, they're looking to see if anything is currently in. Do you have a condition now?
Yes, they're
Are
looking
you
at my
within
A1C
ranges?
is what they're looking.
Right. Are you
That's it.
looking within ranges, which are standards for everybody? They're not specific for you.
Yeah.
And are you within range, and is anything off that could be have developed into a problem? What live cell conditions are is looking at, do you have anything in your blood that would cause you harm down the road.
Yes.
Or with it, or, and how bad, like plaque.
Yes, yes, and more yes.
Yes, I can see plaque overgrowth, and
You can see it?
I can see heavy metals,
Yes.
blood clots.
Yes. Blood clots.
That's the real important.
Blood clots.
Yeah.
Blood
And
clots.
you can see the ages of them.
That's it, I'm done.
What makes your type of blood test interesting is a traditional blood test, like you said, the ranges, there's such a wide range that what may be normal or abnormal for me may not show up in a traditional blood test.
Right, right. And it's truly trying to catch a problem before it really becomes a crisis.
It's proactive
It's-
versus reactive.
It's really just looking, do you have anything going on that's, and a lot of times, because I ask people not to tell me what's going on, I describe what the cells are saying,
Yeah.
and then that explains why they're feeling the way they are.
paint a whole
How-
picture for
Where
them.
do you go to have this test done? I'm just like,
Right here.
you come here.
I think he
Yes.
needs it now.
Yes, yes.
No, I'm sorry. Yes, yeah. We just that's the beautiful thing is we're just bringing all these tests here at Camen Care so that we can give laser sessions even better and decide even better what do you need. So Jeanette said that she can see if somebody needs a lymphatic drainage in looking at that. So great, we have the iCone machine that we do the lymphatic drainage. If she says, you know what, there's too much plaque, well then we got to address that first. So it's just another tool that is really helpful to make sure that we really heal the fastest that we can. Because again, if you don't have the underlying the cause, the underlying issue, you can't really heal properly. But if we know like this woman had, 2 worms and 3 parasites, we can do everything we want. We need to address those parasites
You
before
can't throw
we do
a
anything.
dart.
Are there any
No.
insurance companies who are covering some of this?
Unfortunately not. That is really my next life mission is to see somehow to get this covered by insurance. Because again, going back to Lee's disease, the trigeminal neuralgia, at the time they would have paid $250,000 to have her brain surgery, which could have killed her, probably never had, she'd never been the same person, could never play hockey, could never be working here. She is now 100% pain-free, only through laser. And that would have cost maybe $5,000, and they didn't cover anything. So that's the thing. That's why really my life mission, I'm so thankful to Freddie, thankful to the Brooklyn Cafe to help us expose this, because this is the future. This is what we can change lives very easily with all these tests and with these supplements without hurting anybody.
Amazing.
Yep.
I'm just speechless. Speechless.
Well, let me ask you something with your diabetes, because what kind of glucose intolerance do you have? What do you eat?
I can't have breads.
Okay, your breads turn into sugar.
I
like
can't
this.
have that. I can't eat anything that has sugar in it because, I look at it and it goes into my system. Now, I was in 11.2 on my A1 at one time, and I wasn't coming back, and I got it down to 5.6. I lost 68 pounds.
Wow.
So it was in the
That
diet.
helps.
Bev D'Amico says, yes, you actually did this test for Bev D'Amico. She knows you. She's writing in. Thank you, Bev.
Terrific, thank you.
There you go. But the object, you see, the object of the game here is that sometimes you look at your medical doctors, because the way they explained it to me is they made rings around my body, and they told me how they were going to chop me up and die. Okay? And this is when doctor did this, and he taught me a lesson. And he was right. He did it the right way because I wasn't listening. But when you have a screen and you see it in front of you, there's no place to hide. This isn't a joke anymore. And if you can help even one diabetic, I'm not talking about millions, I'm talking about one, isn't it worth taking a shot?
I've had people call me up and thank me they think that I saved their life. And I didn't save their life. They did by coming in and seeing the problem and correcting it. And I'm not negating doctors, because some of these people go to their doctors with one of my she's become a dear friend, had a lot of heavy metal. She's had a lot of deaths in her family. And so she went, because of the heavy metal, she went to a neurologist and went to him and said, I have heavy metal, do a brain scan. And he actually did one and could tell her where it was deposited in her brain. So now she can work on it. So but that's just one of several lots of calls that I've had where people say, I think you've saved my life. And it's just because they saw what they needed to see. And I always kind of check inwardly or say a prayer before I, let this person see what's important for them. Because this is for them. It's for you to take control of your life, or your health, and have the tools. This is just a tool. There's so many tools out there for people to understand what's going on inside of themselves. So this is just one. It's not the only one, and it's not the only thing to do. So
Parkinson's and heavy metal, there's a correlation, right? And we're hearing about higher incidences of Parkinson's and
Oh,
at
yeah.
younger ages.
Mhm.
Can you speak a little bit about that?
well, and it's just not Parkinson's. It's
Alzheimer's.
dementias. Yeah, dementia. I certainly that's, and also, well, there's plaque plays into this as well. But Parkinson's, my understanding is it's also goes into, and you may be able to speak of this more. What is it? I am having a hard time
It's
with
not
words.
aluminum. Is there something relationship with aluminum?
Aluminum oxide.
Well,
is what I
yeah.
heard.
Well, it is heavy metals, and aluminum is
Just one of
one.
them?
Which is in
because
your deodorant, I heard.
Well, if you, yeah.
Yeah.
And on those planes that fly over your head.
Yes. Yes.
Just saying.
Yes.
I mean, what's happening is that our bodies can't take everything that's coming forward. And this is why, I mean, the food supply is very weak, even the organic.
Yeah.
It's under, there's no minerals in there, so you have to supplement. One of the reasons I created this product, the Life Force Elixir, is to help the body get into an equilibrium point.
And what is this?
What it is this product is like very smart. It's bidirectional.
Okay.
It knows where to go, where it lacks. And I have to say, from everything that I've seen, and it saddens me that women still believe that a little bit higher testosterone levels is going to put muscle on them and going to destroy their health. When in reality, women need to have testosterone levels that are good for a 20-year-old woman, even if you're 40 or 50, at the high levels of 20, 25, not at the low levels where now you fall and you break a hip, your face is dragging to the floor because you have no definition in it, because, you're wrinkling up. All of these things are happening to women because testosterone right now is epidemically low inside of women. And you can supplement this. And this type of product can help regulate certain things. This is what I use.
It's
I
an
mean,
adaptogen, you said, right?
it's an adaptogen.
Like
People say, look,
SAMe and ginseng, those are
there's
adaptogens.
all kinds of things that synergistically put together so that it helps the body, and it works on glucose too, on high sugar content, meaning it helps the body to achieve its balance level. And the body is the healing part of us. It's not anything else. If we're in balance, we're doing all the healing. So we don't need all these medications that are actually suppressing and crushing our system,
Right.
which are making us sick, and then we're dying earlier. If we're not dying, we're actually, the last 20 or 25 years are a mess that we live in.
And the role of an adaptogen is basically to come into your body, find out what's missing, and then basically take on that role, whatever it is.
Take on that role, and that's what this product
You
does.
can do the muscle test.
Yeah, we're gonna do the muscle test. Are
Yeah.
you up to it?
I'm up to it.
Sure.
I'll hold this and I'll explain.
Now,
a
how
little
much
bit.
of this do you drink? Do you
Yeah, just
Just one
one.
ounce?
I love this. This
If
is,
people
you have to
are
stand like over
severely-
there, right? Yeah.
If people have a severe problem, then they may need a second dose. So,
Yep. And so what
Now,
Gus
you may
does,
have to move a camera to
Can you
catch this,
see?
or can you see it?
should I put you on this side here?
I don't
no,
know.
they want to stay on that side.
Can you see it?
Can you see?
No, you just gotta move it. That's all.
think you have to come
Okay.
over a little more.
All right.
So I'll explain a little bit because I have the
I'm
mic.
gonna Stick your arms out here.
So Gus is going to put the arms out.
You got your arms out. I want you to stand on one leg. No, the other one, please.
Okay.
Like an ostrich.
And I'm gonna push down on this arm, okay?
Okay.
And that's your balance, okay?
Okay.
So you have pretty decent balance. Let's go to the other side.
Other foot?
And do the other foot, no, the other foot.
Oh.
And that's your balance, okay? So now, I want you to put your feet together, cuff your hand. Oh, I'm gonna put my hand inside here. Keep straight, keep this straight. I'm gonna push down. Whoops, sorry. I'm sorry.
And now she's unconscious because she just hit her head against the wall.
Heels on, sorry.
Yeah.
Take these
It's
off,
not-
because
it's
my
not
balance
easy.
is off.
No, because right now what we've done is we want to keep the testing authentic.
Okay.
So we have to keep everything the same.
So we're really showing her strength,
When it
like
comes
just
to
general.
electromagnetic field, who can
How's
make
your head
the
feel?
phone?
Oh, a phone here.
Okay, So we have an electromagnetic field. For those people that don't understand what this does, when you put it to your ear, you're gonna see what this
I already
actually
know I'm
does.
sensitive to that.
Okay, so we're gonna test, first we're gonna test here, and I want you to give me resistance. And look how much resistance she's got. I'm pushing down pretty hard. She's strong as an ox.
Well, I
Sorry,
embarrassed
no, don't
I
use that.
embarrassed myself.
Now
earlier.
she's an ox.
So,
That would be your new name,
put this
Ox.
phone,
With a lump on your head.
here,
Put it by my
Put
ear.
that by your ear, and now give me resistance. You don't have that, do you?
No, I'm surprised.
You see? And she's very strong.
It's
Now
in her ear.
Take the phone off. Yeah, the radiation's coming through and it's weakening the body. So now take it off and give me resistance. And I could basically lean up against her and still she could hold me. What we're gonna do is her thymus is off. So,
Her what is
her
off?
Thymus.
which is here, this is your immune system. This represents your immune system. In applied kinesiology, this represents your immune system. So when we test resist and you have not a resistance, you notice?
I'm weak.
You notice how it's tough to resist? Then her pineal gland is like a little bit off, and you resist, and she's got a tough time holding it. Now, her adrenals are the ones that are the most, which is a
Stressed.
lot of people. This is 80 to 90% of people. This is where the adrenal glands are. And give me yeah, by the
On
kidneys.
top of the kidneys.
And she doesn't have much resistance. She's like a dead fish.
Now she's a fish. Now she's
She's
a
a
fish.
deaf-
She's
she's
from
a
an
deaf-
ox to a
You're
fish.
you're a deaf fish with a lump on your head.
All right.
The adrenals are not a surprise.
So now
This
which
is the one,
spot?
yep,
This
that's
is the
good.
bottom. So now we're gonna give her a shot. It only actually takes about 15 to 20 seconds on average to feel the effects,
And what is this going to do? It's purple, by the way.
okay? Just open
It's
down.
minty. It's minty. It tastes minty, but I love it.
And what's in it?
Tastes good.
What's in it?
All kinds of adaptogens and also synergistic herbs underneath the adaptogens supporting the adaptogens up.
Okay.
So it's an overload of adaptogens.
It's, well, no, I mean, the other ingredients are like, so that we have 1 + 1 + 1 instead of equaling 3, we want it to equal 117.
Okay.
So that's what we do. So we put a force behind the adaptogens so that it really can hold up the body. So now we had enough time now, so we can do the same test again, where we had you like this.
Okay.
Okay, now go on 1 foot, and now give me,
Oh, is it the right foot?
is it, where did you
I
start?
should have
Here?
started this one.
Oh, you did?
You did
No.
opposite arm, opposite foot, right?
No, hold
Okay.
on. No, go this way so we can turn you so you have a little space. Bring that foot up, and now give me, look at the resistance she has now.
No banging her
She has
head.
now.
And her head is normal.
Now, go ahead. Well, it's kind of hard to do here, but she's got a ton of resistance now. Now,
Hard to choose.
go ahead.
Now, how long does this last?
So what happens is this.
Few
We
hours,
want to keep the
okay.
test authentic, so we want to keep it the same. Now, no, move just a little bit this way,
Okay.
and put your feet together like that, and hold. And I can put my whole weight on her, she can resist me. And I don't know what I'm weighing, because I weigh myself once a year, but I'm somewhere between 190 and 200 pounds, so I'm not that light.
So this is in her system now.
This is in her system. And now, we tested the immune system. We tested her immune system thymus. We tested her pineal gland. She's consuming a lot, meaning minerals and things like that. When you're in your head a lot, you consume a lot. So we have to, you need to make sure that you put some sea salt in your water and stuff like that. If
Yeah, I
you're gonna
get
be doing
dizzy,
that.
which is, yeah, it's the
Okay.
kidneys, I guess.
The adrenal glands are also pretty compromised. The mitochondria is not working as well. She's got a lot of cortisol, meaning that she's stressed, the stress
Fight or flight.
hormones. The flight or fight. I mean, we're behind computers, and we have the flight or fight
We're in
response.
traffic.
We're in traffic.
We live in Florida.
Whatever, yeah. But
South Florida.
these little things, we lose control of what we are, who we are. You know, if somebody cuts me off today, I say, okay, you know, send him on his way, you know, thank you, you know, I hope you're doing better now, but, you know, it's an angry driver that they got stressed, they got all kinds of things going.
Mental state of mind?
Don't take in their stuff, because that's stuff that's going to affect you. We
Gotcha.
can't take, we gotta detach and not take anybody's stuff.
That's right. So
That's-
mental state of mind also with this stuff also
You know,
brings it forward.
helps. We use this with people that have problems with heroin addiction. and-
Really?
Oh, yeah, cocaine and crack.
Post-traumatic
And
stress, right?
I could tell you that.
For the
post-traumatic
veterans?
stress, and it switches them like this.
Really?
I can take somebody that's like this, shaking, and they
Nervous,
normalize,
anxious.
because we weren't able to treat some people. And Carol is the one that said, "Oh, well, why don't you use the Life Force Elixir?" Because the person's not coherent, you can't treat them, so to treat the person, we'd give them a shot, and now the foot's not doing this, the hands are not doing this, and now you can work on the person. The same goes through with somebody with depression, where they're very, very low, they're not speaking, they're not saying anything. Now you give them a shot, and all of a sudden, they're talkative, they're up.
How many
and they're
times a
coming
day?
out. Once a day is usually what's needed. I mean, we muscle test to see if you need it a second time.
Does it get more as you take it into the body? Does it get more and more adapted?
Did I do the pineal gland?
You didn't
You didn't do the other three.
So, okay, so here's the
The
pineal
what
gland.
glands?
So put it in here and give me resistance. See much, the resistance, she didn't have this resistance before. Now she's got resistance.
Which
Uh,
means she's strong.
She's strong right now. She's so much stronger right now. So everything, oh yeah, there you go.
So is it
Everything's working.
is that making it stronger as time goes on? Is it getting better, more absorbed?
I don't know how to explain this thing, because it's unexplainable what it does. It really, it's come down to it being unexplainable. But I know that if you got, concentration, people that are like kind of bipolar, it kind of levels them out.
Really?
Yes, if you got gout, it takes that out. Now, people tend to abuse themselves. I say, work with these things. Like we're, with Leslie, work with these things. You're doing several treatments, so you have a synergistic value. You come out of this location feeling a lot better because you're also supplementing this with the treatments. So, the idea is you can't do one thing.
So
This
is this what's recommended sometimes as part of the detox for the parasites, the candida, and other things that you pick up on? Is this something that
Well,
you?
this is pretty new into this facility, but yes, I mean, it's going to be run that way so that it can benefit people that are coming in here.
These are all the latest and greatest toys.
The latest
Yeah.
and greatest toys.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Modern
Now,
toys.
now let me ask, how do you feel?
I feel better. I
You
do.
feel
I feel
better?
better. I did feel stronger after he muscle tested me after giving the elixir to me.
Now
And-
we
and it's a little clearer, right?
Yeah, I think I
Leslie,
feel
we're
better. I feel
doing
it-
a special
more
for the
energetic.
vets on Friday.
Oh, nice.
We're going to be
And
down
I was
at Anchor Inn.
Now I feel-
And we are inviting all the vets in South Florida. We're actually buying them lunch at Anchor Inn.
Nice.
If you're a vet, you get free lunch. And then we're doing a show on the outside. The vets will be on the inside. If you guys want to come up
Love to.
and talk
Friday,
to these
Friday.
vets that are going to be up there, Dignity is the sponsor of this, so you can come up on Friday. It starts at 12, be there around 11:30, 11 o'clock if you want to mingle and commingle.
Come
It's at
celebrate
Anchor
life.
Inn.
And I
And
will tell
Lantana?
you this is what I use, okay? And the benefit of it is significant. So people think, are you on testosterone replacement therapy? I am not on testosterone replacement therapy. I do make my own, I'm a formulator. And I've formulated for clients of mine that put their products into Walmart, GNC, Vitamin Shop, all over the place. So I have produced millions and millions and millions of bottles, which, as a formulator, I have formulated at least a few thousand different formulas
Really?
over a 30-year period of time.
Where can you buy this?
This is here at Leslie's.
Carmen
Go
Care.
ahead.
At Carmen Care?
Yes, at Carmen
Okay,
Care,
you
you
can
can
come
buy
and
it.
pick it up here.
Yes, and why we're actually selling so many of them is because patients will come in and we'll do this test. I will do the test on them, muscle test them, and then we give them a shot to make sure that they like the taste, and they usually always do. And then we muscle test the strength, and immediately people, I gotta have this. Because you feel the difference. Again, with what Janet does, you see it. With what Gus does, you feel it. And these are things, they're tangible, and that's what has to happen.
Or what
You know,
they do
the
is
taste
unreal.
that leaves in my mouth is a licorice taste.
Yes, it's
That's
a
what I-
licorice
yeah.
taste. Yep.
Licorice
yep.
is actually good for your stomach, I read yesterday.
Yeah, it's very good. So you can just come in here. Don't even need a consultation or anything. Just come on in, and then we'll muscle test it for you.
I
And
kind of like it. And yes, everybody is right in doing is sick today. She
And the
hopefully
truth of
will
the
be
matter
tomorrow.
is, we don't want you, we don't want you to have it if you don't need it. This is probably going to be
I ain't never met anybody
80 to
who ain't never
90%
needed
of
it.
people. Well, you don't know. I mean, that's why we test. That's why we use applied kinesiology. That's why Leslie's here to make sure that the process is integral
Yeah.
and that people receive. If you're not supposed to have this, we don't
you
want,
won't. I've
we don't
had
want
two
you to
people.
have this.
I've actually had two people that I tested for and said, "Do you need this? Will this help you?" And they were like, "No, this particular it's the same thing with the DNA, right? I guess
Yeah.
it's the same thing. Not everybody's going to respond."
On average, like let's say you could have someone who comes in with moderate adrenal fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
Like on average, how long do they need to be on it? I know it depends on the person, of course, and life factors, but on average, do you have kind of an average of?
Probably a few months, but it depends what they're going to
'Cause
do.
I
Are
know
they going to
adrenal fatigue can
change,
take
Are
right?
they
6 to
going,
9
are they
months
going,
to-
are
they
they
gonna-
going to change? The whole
Yeah.
thing is here, these are tools to help you change. Okay, what is it that you did to bring you where you went?
Sure.
I mean, if you're
Yeah.
sick, right?
Yeah.
Try something different.
Right.
Right? When they created penicillin that saved half the population of the earth, nobody wanted, you ever smell penicillin? It's horrible. But it saved half the earth, right? And you know something? It isn't about the greatest books, the most greatest books, including the Bible, that made it great. It's reading it. It is about the reader. It is about the person that reads and learns. That's what makes things great. You can have the best secret in the world, and nobody knows about it, and you got nothing. So give it a shot. Come on down, give it a shot and taste it. What you do, you just blew my mind. And I know that you guys have heard of this. You're in the field. Me?
Yeah.
I'm the one that's the diabetic here. And I'm the one that I got no news about what's going on with
Yeah.
this.
Welcome
stuff.
to the
What's
party.
going on over the next 2 or 3 months with you on this thing?
Well, what are you laughing at? Don't be laughing.
The idea is we cannot make any claims, and this is,
Is that a claim?
This is the way it is. But it doesn't mean that you can't put a testimonial and we can show that. Even clinical studies in the nutritional field, it's sad. They don't allow you. The best that they allow you, you can't even make a claim, even if your nutritional supplements in a clinical trial shows to do amazing things. Because the laws are written that way. The only thing you can do is point them towards the clinical trials. You cannot make a claim.
Well, I'm going to tell you, as a diabetic, when I wake up in the morning, I can point a claim as to how I feel. I can point to my feet and my legs and my ankles as to how I feel, how my fingers feel. And if this stuff helps me, the diabetic, I'm going to say what I got to say because it's my body.
Does it help with pain and inflammation? That was something you
Yes.
brought up earlier.
We're
Is a
gonna give
big.
you a bottle to take home.
It does. It does.
I
Another
got to
thing
see,
is
but you're
also-
scaring me because I'm afraid to see what's in there.
You know
And
what? I
that's-
would love to.
You know what? That's when I moved from LA, where 80% of the people wanted to know what was going on. They would shove their cards in my hand. Call me. I want
Welcome
an
to
appointment.
Florida.
I come to Florida. It's exactly the opposite.
opposite.
People will.
And if
I
you go to New York, you know what they're going to tell you? Forget about
I
it.
think it's. I think it's.
I'm
the-
gonna die anyway.
I think
We
it's
all
the
got
age.
to go. We all got to
You
go.
have an expiration
I think it's the
date.
age of the population too.
Oh my! Well,
Yeah.
it was pretty much everybody, all ages. I went to a women's organization my first month here, to get involved, and I left this place that had over 100 women in it, and women are sometimes the most open.
Yeah.
I left with maybe 2 people maybe wanting to do it because they're like, no, I don't want to know. And I'm like, if you knew you could avoid having a disease or having an
How can
illness,
you not want to know?
why wouldn't you?
When you're laying there.
Why we can avoid
When
it?
you're laying there, says, oh, God, why
The
me?
fear factor.
It is. It is. And,
You take a
I
test.
try to tell them we can avoid anything that we see. We can work on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you need to see it.
There's an old saying, don't get caught with knuckleitis. Don't become a knucklehead. Knuckleitis. I gotta tell you, we do more stupid things than we do good things.
Yes.
Honestly speaking, I wouldn't say this to Ann because she'll crucify me.
Yeah.
But don't get knuckleitis.
Yeah, because it's not. There's nothing scary.
Listen, if you have a deadly disease, don't you want to get on the ball to get cured? I mean, think about the people you leave behind. Forget about you if you don't care about yourself.
She's doing your blood right after the show. You know.
Well, and I would say anybody watching this is already more in tune to wanting to know than somebody who's not. So.
I mean, I would really tell you, try to stay ahead of the game
Yeah.
instead of behind. The doctors that I go to, they are not, including Leslie here, they don't take insurance. I'm not going to go into a doctor's office where they spend anywhere from 2 to 12 minutes on me. They can't diagnose me correctly. Okay, they can't do it, and at a certain point during the day, they can't even keep up with their own charts. They're on antidepressants, they're on blood pressure medications, they're on anti-anxiety stuff, because I know these doctors. And the last thing the first thing you should look into the doctor's eyes. If blood's coming out of his eyes, walk out of the office.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
It's really funny because you would tell your kids to have this done because you care about your kids. You would do that before you do it for yourself, right? I mean, again, knuckleitis. Stop being a knucklehead. Take things the way they come. If people give you a choice, you could say no. But what's it going to hurt if you give it a shot? And then if you feel better, go tell somebody else.
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to.
Yep.
And you don't have to see the inside of a hospital. I haven't been inside of a hospital in 43 years. And that's because I needed an operation, not because I was ever sick. I've never been in a hospital since I was sick. And I will turn 60 in January. And I could still outcycle my kids who are teenagers.
Well,
I
you know,
could still outlift them.
and that's the
I can
physical
still all these
side.
things. No, but it's also
The
the
fi-
emotional.
But think about the emotional side of what you guys can offer.
and that's it. That's where my book comes
That's
in.
really where it comes
Relationships, functional versus dysfunctional.
Yes, very good book.
Yeah, it's available here as well.
out. You know, you gotta come down here because, but again, I invite you guys
Yes.
to come on
On
Monday night from
Monday,
6
okay.
to 7.
Okay.
And you could bring your cast of characters that
Okay.
you have here.
Perfect.
And let's blow the mind.
Cartoon characters.
Spread the word.
You know, I'm amazed because I have a whole huge following of diabetics that follow me. And I'm going to tell you, I know half of them don't know anything about this. Because that's why they're in the soup to begin with.
And what if
Right.
it could have been avoided?
What if? You know what? Then I'm going to be angry.
Well,
I'm gonna tell you
no wish I
something.
had
And
them
remember
smooth
why
forward.
I'm going to be
Yeah.
angry.
for the people that
Yeah. Why you want to be here ahead of schedule. And I'll tell you what, for those people that are not sick, either you're moving towards sickness or against it at all times. And you may have been moving for decades towards sickness. It just hasn't fully blown up on you. So, be proactive. And you don't have to get sick. There's such thing as epigenetics. I mean, I turned 60 in 2 months in January, and I'm far from, I got great health. For the most part, I've had a few bumps. Yes, for my powerlifting days, I got a couple of arthritic in
Disc.
the back discs, and but now I'm taking care of it, and Leslie's helping me, and and I move forward from that, and I'll be back to squatting again because you know what? I don't want to be one of these senior citizens that can't get off the toilet seat. I mean, that's what happens.
You're going to squat or get off the pot, right?
That's right.
Well, there are some friends of mine, some family members.
I had to lift somebody out of the movie theater that was maybe 10 years younger than me.
Well, good thing you were there.
No, sorry, 10 years older than me. Let's not exaggerate. And the guy was like a dead bag of potatoes. And there was these guys with their girlfriends coming out, and these people were in their 20s, and they're picking a guy that just got a senior citizen ticket at the movie theater.
There you go.
To pick him up and put him on his wheelchair. And I found that, that these are like dead bodies. I know that he can't get out of the bathroom by himself, and it's terrible. So I first held his hand to pick him up, and I saw nothing. There was like
Yeah.
a dead body. Then I grabbed him by the elbow. That wasn't enough. I had to go underneath him
Yeah.
and physically pick up this guy that's over 200 pounds and sit him on the wheelchair.
Well, I got some friends who lost their daughters and sons to diabetes. I got a good friend of mine in Europe that I met during the show, and he's put causes and everything else. And the reason I get angry is if you have some information that can help, and I know everything's about timing, because if you're over the edge, all you're doing is taking the fall. I get it. I understand it completely. But man, give people a choice. Let them try. You want to look like this guy when you're 60, but all I'm saying is just make the information out there. Put it out there.
Give people choices.
That's it. That's all I'm asking. I'm not saying whether or not it works or doesn't. You be the judge of it, because if it does work, you're talking about changing paths of people's lives.
That's right.
If it works.
And what people believe in is what's going to work for
And
them.
It works. Listen, most people in my age.
I know, but people were going to turn it down off because I can't say that. I can only say give it a choice. Yes, it
Give
does
it a
work.
choice.
You're living
I'll
proof.
tell you this right now. Okay. If you grab in here, no, the separation.
Living proof?
If you go like this, okay, my skin doesn't separate from my muscle. Anybody in this age group, they can't do this.
Yes, but if you don't look like him, you can still have the test done.
But I'm just telling you, you can still have elasticity in your body. You can still, you can still function. You don't have to, if you flap your arms, you beat somebody senseless in the face because of the
But that's okay
skin
too.
that you have.
Listen, that's okay too. It doesn't matter what you look like. It matters.
No, but I'm saying
it matters
just
that you
tells
give it a
that
shot.
Your hormones are working. That you're still
Listen, if you're
operational.
breathing, you can have this done, right? You can
Right.
take this and do that if you're
That's right.
breathing. And then the other lady with the swab.
And everybody can come back. It doesn't matter where you are right now. Just get yourself better. But be proactive.
Give it a shot.
And Leslie, you know, she's got the biggest heart there is. She will help you. This is not some revolving doctor's office where they come in there 2.5 minutes later, they say, well, you know, we're dealing with Obamacare. You got to get the hell out now because we don't have any more time for you.
That's another show.
And you have what?
That's just another show. Yes, you're absolutely right. And you know, it's about your body. It's about taking care of you. You had all sorts of things thrown at you today. Come on down, Leslie. Give us the address of where you're at.
It's on 2nd Avenue, 3301 Northwest 2nd Avenue, Boca Raton, and the phone number is 405-9577.
That's right. And we're going to be down the street from Leslie. We're going
Can't
to be
wait.
neighbors. And
Yes.
we'll have some fun with this as well.
Absolutely.
But I invite you guys to come on Monday at 6 o'clock at the radio
Thank you.
station and come on down. Let's do this again.
Sure,
For
be
people
great.
that didn't, I mean, this is a nighttime demographic, but I'm sort of anxious to see how this whole thing plays out. And we'll put the word out and let people know what's going on. It's
Beautiful.
I thank you guys for doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
About people's future. It's not just, you know, about their health. It's about where they want to be in their future.
I saw a show
That's
yesterday.
right. That's so true.
I saw a show yesterday. It says, you ever notice you got windows in a car, and the smallest window is the mirror that looks back? I thought that was so clever.
I like it.
You know, and there's nothing wrong with getting older, but the problem is getting old. That's the problem, because we're all getting older, but getting old is a big difference between getting older and getting old.
That's
And
right.
limited functionality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we're going to wrap up, partner.
Thank you so much for having us
Great show.
here. And
You had a good time?
I had a wonderful time.
Yeah, you even did an extra set.
Yeah, I did. And you know what? I learned a lot today as well, which was
I know.
helpful
How's
for
the
me.
bump on your head?
It's
Can we call
still
you,
there.
What did she call me? Canary? No, what am I? Reptile? What am I?
I didn't call you reptilian.
I'm an iguana.
Your
I'm
previous
an iguana,
guest
and
called you
you'll
that.
be bumpy. And thank you for taking the spider off my head.
You're welcome. I saved your life today.
And you can throw it away. All right, listen, we're going to be back on Friday. We're going to be at Anchor In. If you are a vet, come on down. We'll buy you lunch for free, and you can catch a show. It starts at 12 o'clock, and that's in Lantana. Anchor In.
Looking forward to it.
All right, guys, we will see you later. Enjoy your weekend, Dawn. I hope you're feeling better, and we'll
Feel better,
we'll see
Dawn.
you Friday. All right.
thank you.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show is over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more goodwill next time. You can follow the cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.